Good evening. Welcome to tonight's Board of Commissioners, City of Bowling Green, Kentucky, May 3rd, 2020, 4:30 p.m. We will begin with the invocation and pledge allegiance, and I'll turn it over to our Commissioner Dana Beasley Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. I have invited Ms. Vivian McClellan from the Med Center to give our invocation today. She is a former nurse and now came back as a chaplain. So, Ms. McClellan, if you'll step forward and just share a little bit about the spiritual care that chaplains in all of our hospitals here in Bowling Green provided to staff and families and our community during the pandemic.
As we all know, the pandemic forced us to look at things totally different. Everything we did was not what we needed to be doing during this time. And I was a nurse working as a director of education when the pandemic hit. So when that happened and our staff started dying around us, I thought, I don't know what else to do.
Get your mic working there.
I didn't think I was, there we go.
Thank you, Raina.
Didn't know what else to do, so I just started going to the units and praying with the staff just to help trying to support them spiritually during that time as they were grieving the loss of their colleagues and family when you spend that much time with them every day. So as the pandemic progressed, we're working long hours every day of the week, trying to stay ahead of the information that we had to be prepared and trying to protect our families, trying to protect the community, trying to protect ourselves. So it was a terrifying time, as it is for everybody, or was. And so I retired in August and then continued going back and serving, praying over the staff. Our real chaplain, because I'm a volunteer, but our real chaplain wasn't able to be here, but he works a lot with patients. I did have the opportunity to work with patients a lot. My office was on the 6th floor. I would travel the elevator. I have no idea how many times a day, but there was always a family member on that elevator that I would strike up a conversation with. And some of the ways to deal with all of the trauma that was going on around us for me was to look for the fruits of the Spirit. And I thought, I got to figure out, I can't be a nut in this case, which is what I wanted to do, is go out back and yell and scream. But I thought, I've got to find a way to find my own spirituality in this, and started looking for fruits of the Spirit. And one example was older gentleman got on the elevator with me one time, so I was riding upstairs, and all he had to do was say, "How are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm good today." He said, "I'm going to get to see my wife after 3 weeks." And so I said, "Well, that is a good thing." And I thought, there's this big burly man in overalls, giddy, that he gets to see his bride after not seeing her for 3 weeks. So that was another challenge that we faced, both as staff and as chaplains, of how to minister to patients who were in isolation. Their families couldn't be there, and families are so important in healing and health. So, I would have families call me asking me to go pray with their family member because they could not be there. So I would call the room and pray, and this one young lady, she was probably older than me, but I was praying the 23rd Psalms with her, but I was saying it as a prayer. And then I said, "You know what? That just don't sound right. Let's do it in the King James Version." So she recited it back with me, and I could just feel the calm and the peace come over her. Even though she was in that room alone, that was what she needed. And you just had to depend on something to lead you in those moments. So I still go up to the hospital. I still visit the different units. I still get encouragement from the staff almost every visit. I get tickled when they say it's our Jesus huddle time, or they're going to give us prayers. And I thought that was an interesting way to put it, like I'm giving them a gift by praying over them. So that was a blessing to me. So those are just some of the situations. I hope that gives you a picture of the challenges. I know we were this is about the pandemic, but, when the tornado hit, that was another very challenging time. And because of my work with the refugees in this community, the emergency department called on me to come in and help. And my help was calling in people who could speak the language well, because there are some things you can't do over a telephone interpreter. And, just being there with family and just trying to say prayers over them. They were members of our church, but we did lose that mom. And just helping them navigate that horrid situation, because they lost absolutely everything, including the mom. And then the son got flown to Vandy. So, those are some of the examples of some of the things we face in the hospital, like many people who serve do. We're working with people during the worst of times and the most traumatic times, and just listening mostly. You really end up just listening.
I just can't thank you enough for you representing all of our chaplains who served over the past several years throughout the pandemic, and like you mentioned, the tornado, being with our community during the hardest times. And I know the load that you all have carried, and I wanted to make sure that we, as hopefully we are coming out of the end of it, that we take a moment to thank those in our community that were really taking on that burden and helped those giving that gift of those prayers, like you said, to our frontline workers to give them the strength they needed throughout the last couple of years, the pandemic and the tornadoes. So just thank you so much for your service, and we'd be so honored and blessed if you would lead us in our opening prayer.
Well, it's an honor to be here, and I really appreciate the thought that went into arranging this. Let us pray. Dear loving and gracious and holy Heavenly Father, we humbly bow before your throne and we just praise your holy name. Father, I just praise you for bringing us through the pandemic, and I thank you for bringing us through the tornado. We ask that you continue to be with those who have lost during those two incidences and who are struggling to still pass beyond that and become more normal. I praise you for these leaders who are gathered here tonight. What a precious sacrifice they give for their community of time and effort and energy. I ask that you bless our Mayor Alcott, Commissioner Carlos Bailey, Commissioner Dana Beasley Brown, Commissioner Melinda Hill, and Commissioner Sue Perrigan. Please give them wisdom and courage and strength to make the decisions they need to be made. Thank you that they are recognizing the need for spiritual guidance among our community, especially during tragedies. We ask for your blessings over this community, over our town. We're facing some challenges just because of our growth, and Father, I just pray that we make good decisions about how to rise up and meet each one. We ask your blessings on this gathering, and may everything we do bring honor and glory to you. And I praise you for hearing and answering this prayer. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much. And now if you'll remain standing and while we say the pledge together. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much for honoring us tonight, telling us a little bit of your story and praying for our city. Thank you. We have a couple things we'd like to accomplish before, and Mr. Meisel and I would like to collaborate on this one. Oh, let's do a roll call first. Roll call, Mrs. Jackson. For a little bit.
Yep, it's not mine. Okay, I'll say it loudly. Commissioner Beasley Brown.
Present.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Perigin.
Here.
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Mayor Alcott.
Here. Thank you, Mrs. Jackson. Speaking of Mrs. Jackson, would you please come forward? Because we would like to publicly recognize at our commissioners' meeting, the Kentucky Municipal Clerks Association presents the 2022 Municipal Clerk of the Year for the entire state of Kentucky, voted on by all of clerks within the state of Kentucky. They voted you the Clerk of the Year for the state of Kentucky amongst your peers to Ashley Jackson in appreciation for outstanding dedication service as a member of the Kentucky Municipal Clerks Association in recognition of valuable contributions to the municipal clerk profession in your community. So congratulations. Come up here, Ashley. We'd love to take a photo.
Yes, we did.
All right. Congratulations, Ashley.
I want to say a little bit of something about that too, Todd, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe Melinda. We traveled to Elizabethtown with Hillary and enjoyed so much watching the Kentucky Municipal Clerks Association, about 80 of them, just praise the work that they have witnessed that Ashley has done for this city. It's a huge honor, as I was saying to Ashley earlier, when you're recognized by your peers. It's just a much different type of honor to me when folks that are on your level, your peers, are giving you these kinds of awards. And it's a statewide award, and it's a big deal. So it was great to be there, Ashley, to see your special day. Thank you. Melinda, you want to add?
I just want to say thank you for all the work you have done for the city of Bowling Green to make it so wonderful, and thank you for the work you will continue to do to keep this city wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so happy for you, and it was a well-deserved honor.
Let me get a thumbs up from Meredith Lazinski. Are we okay to say for the Mac Conway? Because that public release went out to the community this afternoon. Ron Bunch from the Chamber sent out that our city, the city of Bowling Green, receives the second consecutive Mac Conway Award for Excellence in Economic Development, which puts us in the top 20 communities in economic development in the entire nation. And this is awarded to the city of Bowling Green for the second year in a row. So congratulations to the Chamber and in this amazing award and all the work that went to accomplish this. Thank you very much. And Meredith Rosinski is here from the Chamber to receive that and say that. Stole the thunder a little bit there, Mr. Meisel.
Not at all, Mayor. Good job. Ashley is very valuable to us, and a lot of her work goes unnoticed, and a lot of work behind the scenes. She puts this big book together every 2 weeks or twice a month, and does a great job, and appreciate her leadership in the clerk's office. I do have one more thing. I just want to remind the audience, if you want to make public comments, make sure you sign the register in the back corner of the room. Those will be addressed at the end of the regular session here. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Meisel. Our first item of the night is approval of minutes for regular meeting, April 19th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. No comments at this time. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-77.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2022-39 for East Fifth Avenue sidewalk improvements from Infinity Pipeline, Inc. of Bowling Green, Kentucky in the amount of $79,420.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bailey, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Meisel.
We would like to put some sidewalk down in the neighborhood improvement program and Census Block 102.1 that we're currently working in. This is a census tract that contains older housing stock, some minorities, and we selected it last year for the fourth NIP neighborhood program to use CDBG money on. We have a team of city staff that worked with citizens to give us input on what that neighborhood needed. And one of those needs came up was pedestrian facilities, new pedestrian facilities. So this sidewalk is the map is in your packet. It's going to provide pedestrian connection from College Street to Center, and help get people over to Roland Bland Park. So we went out for bid, got 3 bids, and Infinity Pipeline of Bowling Green is the lowest bidder, and we're recommending them for $79,420. Brent Childers and Nick Cook are here that worked on this project to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mazel. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment.
Please.
I'm just really excited that we are putting, the investments in the Shake Rag neighborhood, especially when we now have that inclusive park for children of all abilities in this park, and connecting it now to the kids who live in the neighborhood there is really exciting for that neighborhood, and I think a great way for us to improve the quality of life. So I'm just really excited about this.
All right. Commissioner Brown, no more questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-78.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2022-41 for building storm damage repairs for Public Works Operations Division from CNC Contracting LLC of Russellville, Kentucky, in the amount of $360,931.26.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mazel.
We need to demolish and reconstruct 2 structures out at the Public Works Operations Center on Lapsley Lane. One is our salt storage building, and the other is our wash bay. We went out for bid. We got 2 bids, one from CNC Contracting, which was the lowest bid for $360,931, and we're recommending them to do this work out at our Public Works Ops Center on Lapsley. Greg Meredith is here. Well, I'm sorry, Greg is not here. He's off. Melissa and Dave are here. Can answer any questions about this project.
That's a big range between the 2 bidders. Is there a, that's not typical, is it?
We're working with insurance on this one,
Ah,
and
gotcha.
yeah, they're not in the construction business. So,
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. That answers a lot.
right.
But thank you for still being mindful of money. Insurance companies get money from all of us.
Price often goes up when
Yes.
there's mention of insurance.
It's way, yes, no doubt about it, Jeff. Makes sense.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Melissa. Any further comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-79.
Municipal order authorizing the continuation of a contract with J&F Janitorial Services, Inc. of Somerset, Kentucky for professional cleaning services in the amount of $210,820.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mazel.
This is our cleaning contract for roughly 8 or 9 buildings here at the city. Listed in your packet there, ranging from City Hall all the way out to the landscape building. This is a renewal of a bid we did last year. The price is $210,820. J&F have agreed to make no increase to that contract and renew it for another additional year. And we have that option in the bid last year, so we are recommending that we renew with J&F for the same money, again for the 9 facilities listed here. Dave Hayner is here to answer any questions on this contract as well.
I'm going to make a small comment. They do a great job. They really do. Consistently, I'm in and out of these buildings, and they are clean, particularly this one that we're sitting in. And one of the nicest people that I know takes care of this building every evening. And she is just a really amazing human. So, great.
Other comments? Oh, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-80.
Municipal order approving actions of the city manager and accepting the emergency purchase to complete fiscal year 2022 overlay project related to striping from Reynolds Sealing and Striping, Inc. of Bowling Green, Kentucky in the amount of $61,155.20.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bailey, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
Last year, we awarded the current FY22 overlay project to Charles DeWeese. Completion was supposed to be finished, done by December 15th of 2021. We are now here in May of 2022, and the deadline was not met. We are looking at liquidated damages now per the contract terms. And Public Works has been working as best they can to alleviate problems. But one thing included in their contract was the striping. And so the subcontractor was Reynolds, and they have refused to work any further for DeWeese. So DeWeese has agreed to ask the city to do a direct contract with Reynolds to get our striping down. We considered this an emergency because we have some overlay completed without what they call stop bars, striping, arrows in certain spots, and we need to get those out and down on the street. So we are asking your permission tonight to start working directly with Reynolds. Same price as that what they were going to get from DeWeese as a sub, $61,155. But we need to get this stuff done. It's way overdue, and in your packets there's a list of items that Reynolds Sealing and Striping is going to do for the $61,155, anywhere from stop bar striping to crosswalks. Some are thermal, some are painted, just varies on the location, but would request your permission to move forward with Reynolds Sealing and Striping. Again, Dave Hayner worked on this project, or I'm sorry, Melissa did, and can answer any questions.
Just one question. Since it was supposed to be due, I guess, back in December, do we have like a deadline to make sure it's going to be due this time? It's going to be completed.
Yes, this contract will be directly with Reynolds, so we weren't working with them before, so we have agreed with Reynolds to get this done in a timely fashion, I believe, the end of May.
In the May, okay.
Pretty certain. They had started the work under DeWeese, and of course, they couldn't fulfill their contractual obligations, and they agreed that this was the best route to get this done, both parties. So.
Thank you, Melissa. Other questions? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-18, our first reading is non-binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a portion of attractive land containing 0.04 acre from HB Highway Business to RM4 multifamily residential located at 0 Cooksey Lane, presently owned by the Hub at Lovers Lane LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
This is a tiny piece of land back in the back of the Hub that needed rezoning from highway business to residential or multifamily residential RM4, and it went before the Planning and Zoning Board and achieved 6-0 vote out of the 8 that were eligible to vote. Mr. Peterson is here with us tonight, can answer any questions, but this was apparently maybe overlooked before. Just one little tiny piece of ground in the back off of Cooksey Lane. Map is in your packets.
Questions? None at this time. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-19 is our first reading and is non-binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a tract of land containing 4.03 acres from HB Highway Business to RM4 multifamily residential located at 0 Kenilwood Way, presently owned by Three Springs Hospitality LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
So this is another, just a 4-acre tract, achieved a 6-0 unanimous vote from the Planning Commission to go from highway business to RM4. Again, Mr. Peterson is here, can answer questions on this one as well. Map is in your packet.
Okay, questions, comments? This time, roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. We have number 8.
7.
7, thanks, I've marked it. I moved. Municipal order number 2022-81.
Municipal order authorizing submission of an application and acceptance of federal emergency management reimbursement funds related to the severe weather event on December 11th, 2021, and further authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with the Commonwealth of Kentucky Department of Military Affairs, Division of Emergency Management.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
This is just part of the protocol for us to submit and receive FEMA reimbursement from the storm damage. This is a boilerplate agreement that they use for all cities and counties. So you can ignore the $400 million contract amount on here on the first page. That would be total probably for everybody that applies for this. I want to thank Dave Weisbrot, who's been working hard on our FEMA reporting along with our vendor to get everything keyed in. It's been a monster task. I think there's like 4,000 plus items that have to be keyed into the FEMA's software system. We are using the Tetra Tech company that we have hired to get everything in there, all our T's crossed and I's dotted to make sure we don't miss out on any reimbursement. As you know, we did find out that we are looking at 100% coverage on 30-day periods on different categories, and then after that, for the full year of 2021, there will be that 90% coverage that was worked on and through, I think, Senator McConnell's office had helped get that through at the federal level. So this is just the memorandum of agreement to get it through to the Kentucky Emergency Management Office and get the ball rolling on the reimbursement. Hillary also helped with this, looked this over, and we'll try to answer any questions you might have.
I have a quick
And
question.
Katie.
Oh, sorry. I have a quick question. So 90% reimbursement for the rest, then there's a 10%. Will the volunteer reimbursement and the equipment reimbursement offset that 10% as well? Okay, we're going to be paid for volunteer hours and equipment that was brought in and used from volunteers. Is that something that can reduce that 10% as well?
We have the volunteer hours. I think we submitted those. I don't know that we have a final word on those yet, but they have been turned in.
I think some of the volunteers have since submitted maybe requests for payment as well.
But that reimbursement is in addition to the 90%, I guess is what I'm asking.
Oh, of the that would be a question for Weisbrot. I don't know if they, or if when we submit, they then give us 90% of that, which we then submit back to the volunteer agency.
We can check on that
I think that'd be an
and
important
report
question to
back to you.
Because it could certainly, as the mayor and I were on a Zoom call with Tuscaloosa and Tupelo, that was a pretty important piece to them, that in addition to the 25% that they were, it starts at 75, so there was 25. They were also reimbursed for volunteer hours and equipment that was brought, even a chainsaw, because we would have had to done that work and they would have had to pay. So I'm pretty sure,
But we believe that of that remaining 10%, that the state's SAFE grant was considering covering roughly 5% of that, but we're still working on that as well.
right, right.
There's some paperwork that has to be done, so,
If we don't mind to check on that, that'd be great.
good question.
While we're there, how much have we fronted from the city approximately, Katie, at this point?
I think I lost track. The biggest thing that we've probably fronted is the debris removal and the monitoring services. That was around 3.4 million. And I think we haven't paid all that yet. But that's probably the biggest portion of what we have really spent up front. A lot of the other expenses are overtime from the actual storm itself and the week following the storm. It didn't amount to significant numbers, but we're still trying to gather all that information, and Tetra Tech is still trying to input all of that information.
Okay, other comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes,
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-20, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance annexing property by consent. Ordinance annexing 1.1647 acres of property located at 1171 Freeport Road, presently owned by the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc., with said territory being contiguous to existing city limits.
so moved.
Moved. Second.
Unanimous across the board. I heard Bailey as first and second as Hill. So, sorry about that. Heard everybody.
This is a small 1.1 acres along Freeport Road that is owned by the ITA, contiguous to the recently expanded Transpark that they have requested and consented to annex into the city. And we have Meredith Rosansky here with us tonight. If you have any questions, as well as Mr. Brent Childers in the back, but recommending annexation of this piece of property on Freeport Road.
Questions for this time? None? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes,
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-82.
Municipal order approving and authorizing conveyance of property by the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc. to Envision AESC US LLC.
so moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
Okay, back toward the end of 2021, we started working on assembling more land for the Transpark. As you know, the ITA purchased a farm, roughly 231 acres, plus another one or two acres. And then the city and county pledged to purchase another piece of property. All in total, roughly 600 or 700 acres. At the time, we decided that we should do kind of a memorandum of understanding to make sure we're all on the same page as when we sell or buy land, what protocol we want to follow. So one of the requirements of that memorandum of understanding was when we did turn property over to a new company, that the city and county would be able to give their consent to that, especially when it's at no cost. So we, the ITA will be, awarding property to some companies, especially our latest announcement, Envision. And so just as part of the deal we made, this is to get your consent, I believe, to allow them to move on the Ritchie property. And Meredith is here. Can maybe fill in the gaps and answer any questions you might have.
I want to say thanks to Meredith. We often have these things on our agenda, and it's because of her diligence and hard work along with her team.
This is authorizing the conveyance to Envision to start construction on the Ritchie property, which is Phase 1. And in your packets, there's a good memo from Gaines Penn, the ITA's attorney, that explains the acreage and which properties are going to be Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3.
Yes, as Mr. Mizel said, envision the $2 billion, 2,000 job announcement that we just celebrated. This is Phase 1, so this will be $1 billion investment and 1,000 jobs. They want to start quickly, want to close on this transaction by the end of this month, and be up in operational Q1 of 2024. So we're seeking your consent to go ahead and convey this 233-acre parcel to them to start that first project.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
It's going to be a game changer. I've been around long enough to remember the Corvette plant coming and how that changed the game here, and this will probably have a bigger impact
Yes.
as far as changing and growing our community. It's very exciting to have. These aren't, what I understand, these aren't just jobs, these are careers, and good paying careers. And so I think it's just a wonderful thing. Thank you for all your work.
Well, and two, I wanted to thank you guys. We did have a team of their HR team in last week to discuss with our educational institutions how to ramp up the talent related to this facility. And they said in that meeting that a big reason why they chose us was our SEK Launch K-12 efforts. And the efforts of Sky CTC and the programming that they do. So that was huge kudos, and I want to thank you guys for funding that coordinator position that allows us to pull that off. Again, without these programs and all of us working together, we would have never stood a chance of winning this project. So thank you.
Just to give a comparison of apples, what this cost, between the county and the city investing $40 million in the Trans Park, and this is only one piece of that, there's going to be a $2 billion investment. And then when this comes to fruition, a $233 million pumped into our economy annually year over year.
Exactly.
So huge win to the chamber on this big fish, the biggest fish of the fish, second largest in the state of Kentucky. And we're well on our way, so congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. This wasn't factored into our Matt Conway Award, so hopefully next year will be number 3.
You're going to move up the ladder there.
That's right.
Other comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-83.
Municipal order approving and authorizing the mayor to execute a lease agreement with Vet City Vintage LLC related to the lease of a portion of sidewalk in front of 939 College Street.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
This is actually a retail shop that would like to do like sidewalk sales and put some stuff out on the sidewalk. And so City Attorney Hightower was in contact with them, has worked out a deal or an agreement, and we basically set this up similar to the other sidewalk leases, correct, Hillary, that we do with restaurants and others. And so this would just be your standard sidewalk lease for $1, and I'll let Hillary answer any questions you might have on it. They're a new shop? 939 State. College, sorry, 939 College.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-15, second reading, binding.
Ordinance renaming street. Ordinance approving the renaming of a portion of Shive Lane to Ken Bell Boulevard.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. This is our second reading. It was a 5-0 last Board of Commission. Any further comments, questions? None? Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-16.
Ordinance amending Code of Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 4, Alcoholic Beverage Control of the City of Bowling Green Code of Ordinances to create a new subchapter establishing an entertainment destination center.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. This is also a 5-0. This is about over a year and 5 months of work and accomplishment. We were in favor of this, and after listening to the city, we have a project coordinator, Talia Butler, willing to work with our community and be able to establish an entertainment district that is going to help grow customers coming to the downtown area and to grow commerce. And this is a partnership between the city and the community to grow that together and working towards each other. So if there's any other comments you may at this time.
Do you want Hillary to explain next steps?
Yeah.
Please,
Real
thank
quick.
you, Hillary.
So we will put an advertisement in the paper that we are going to apply for an EDC license, just like any applicant would do. And I've set up an account and linked the city's licenses. We already have licenses at golf courses. So I have set that up and linked it. And once we put our newspaper ad in and I get a copy of it, then we will apply for our license. And then the state has 30 days to respond. They'll come down here and walk the boundaries. Talia's working on signs. We've got rules ready to go out, and I'm working on a participating business agreement. So the hope is, mid to late June, we're ready to go.
Thank you, Hillary.
Hillary, I guess last time I asked this, can we also still go back and look at like participating business agreements, possibly putting in like a camera at those businesses? Not for the city control, but at least for the business establishment to have there. And I think that it would be beneficial for the police if they had to get something like that if an incident did occur.
Yes, that's definitely something we can look at.
Okay.
If that's what you all, I guess we'll see, we'll get started, and I think the idea is to kind of see how everything goes. What things do we need to address? What things are going well? What things are not? Maybe talk to some other cities again.
Right.
How did you handle this? And just figure out how to make it work for us, I think is the plan.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-17, second reading and is binding.
Ordinance annexing property by consent. Ordinance annexing 1.561 acres of property located at 1597 and 1609 Glasgow Road, presently owned by Margie Duval, with said territory being contiguous to existing city limits.
So move.
A second.
By Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. This is our second reading. It was a 5-0 for the last commission meeting. Is any comments or questions at this time? There's none. Roll call, please.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Mrs. Jackson, would you please check to see if we have any public comments at this time? Okay, we are negative. Our next scheduled meeting is May 17th, 2022, at 4:30 PM. Thank you for everybody for being here tonight. We are adjourned.